Moving on to the Houghton Lake Committee of the Whole.
Could I ask that, Chair, since we weren't public, or that we at least acknowledge to the public that we went from 1 to 5, and we're asking for 5, if there is any, and then we recreate number 6. Number, my glasses, 5A. That way the public is aware of what was discussed or not discussed on Higgins Lake. Just a suggestion, Madam Chair.
Does any of the board members oppose that? Okay. Going back to Higgins Lake, the tentative plan update, the major changes is that we did hire the delegated authority, but we are awaiting contract, and it also involves Crawford County. So once the contract, we will present that to Crawford County for their approval, and then we can move forward with that. The survey.
I'm sorry. Oh, what is the timetable on that?
Honestly, I don't know.
I suppose when the prosecutor's no longer ill.
Okay.
It's at his office.
So
just
within
for
the next couple
language.
of weeks, 2-3 weeks, or?
Yeah, should be. A survey completed on Higgins Lake via the Higgins Lake Land Conservancy. And Chase is working on a permit to make any temporary fixes. Any other discussion on Higgins Lake? Houghton Lake
Excuse me.
Committee of the Whole. Delegated authority update. Yep. Please.
All right, delegate authority, update on Houghton Lake. Oh, where do I start? Let's start with Eagle kicked back our after the fact and plate removal comments. An email, you were CC on there, so correct me if I'm misunderstanding the email. In the email, they essentially want it as one permit. They want the after the fact and the removal all as one permit. We're hoping to keep it as 2 so that things separated, but they're not allowing that. They ball and reapply as one permit.
What does that mean? I don't understand exactly. You had 2 different permits you were going for.
Yes, so one was to keep the plate in. I mean, to have, since the plate was in and it wasn't under a permit, I say Eagles signs off, says, yep, this is good for, we're okay with it being in. The other one was to remove the plate. They want it all grouped into one.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, so we're gonna go back, and then they wanted some more calculations done by Spicer Group before removing that plate. As far as repairs on the Houghton Lake structure, no one wants to touch it. There's too much liability to put a temporary repair on a failing structure. One of those things where if an engineering firm, liability wise, it makes more sense to replace it than to design a temporary repair on a failing structure.
So are you saying that we have to basically replace the dam as soon as possible?
Unless someone wants to come in and say, yes, I'll stamp my PE, stamp on a repair.
Well, I mean, you just said that's not going to happen. So.
Well, GI originally said they wouldn't do it. Spicer Group, in my mind, has politely said, we really don't want to do it. I went to Prine and Newhoff. They said they don't want to do it. Jim Tiffany, who did the inspections, he could do it. I am still waiting to hear back from him. That's where we're at.
So it looks like we've got to come up with a new dam, new prints, specs, everything for a new dam. soon as possible. And not gonna be able to do that until everything is done with the allocations on the SAD on Houghton. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we got to get all of that done. And then we have to have, is there anything in the works on the design of a new dam, even being designed?
No, because that needs to go out for bid and you need to hire a firm to do it and then you need to have the money in
But-
hand.
What can we do now? I mean, is that something that we should start on now? I mean,
I already wrote up a bid packet. So it would have to be reviewed and then that would have to go out for bids.
I think this is we got to do this fairly quick or we're going to be in trouble here for a few years. I mean, this could take years. This is something that has to be done immediately, I think.
Yes.
I mean, if we remove them plates, basic, we'll be screwed.
Yeah.
Them plates come out and we don't have a plan.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
We're better off leaving the plates in till we have a plan and can move forward.
we have one last ditch effort going on with this to try and maintain levels for the summer.
Yeah.
Chase and I have talked about that this morning. He's gonna run up past Eagle.
There's a loophole. There's a word, the way it's worded in the statute, there might be a way can't alter the dam because of the structural integrity, but if altered gate shouldn't affect the structural integrity, we could make a different style gate that would be able to retain water. That's the goal.
Chase ran that by me also this morning. I like the
I
idea.
think it's the only way to
It's
do
a
it.
Hail
without-
Mary.
It's a Hail Mary, but it won't affect the structural integrity, so that's by statute, which they have to follow. There should be no problem with it. When gates have been replaced in the past, there's been no permit needed.
But we still need to do,
That's
some kind of
just buying time.
right, but in the meantime, we shouldn't be standing around. We should be
No.
getting a permit on a new dam, on construction of a new dam, getting
Well,
the costs and out for bids, everything whatever needs to be done to get a new dam in there.
The first thing that needs to be done is, my opinion, the assessment needs to be finished. We have money to pay a firm to come in and start knocking that stuff out.
What's the holdup on the assessment?
Okay, right now,
Madam Chair. I think we all received a game plan from Chase, timelines of everything we're moving forward with on this process. You didn't get one?
Is this here?
It
No,
was
I
in
think
an
it was done
email.
by email.
no, I can resend, that's changed a little bit. I got an email this morning with 4 dates that work for both Spicer and Faye Schultz to set up a public meeting for the methodology of the assessment. And that's the first important fact. That's the first thing we need to get done. Public needs to be brought with these factors discussed, and then after which the board can make their decision. I talked to Russo about this. Better to get the public's opinion before the board made a decision so that they're not tracking.
Yeah, I like that idea
Yeah.
too. It should go to the public.
So the dates that were provided are January 30th, 31st, and February 1st, and then February 7th. Work. You guys, I don't know if you guys would like to be present or at least stop by for part of that. Those would be the 4 dates that would work.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we do have a plan in action to move forward.
We're not completely dead.
Yeah, no, that's.
We're not completely dead in the water yet.
I figured you did, but this is a meeting that other people are gonna see too, so they need to know what our thoughts are and what's going on in the
Yep.
background. That's why I'm bringing it up.
We have 5 gates right now. They're probably gonna come Chase with the original design years ago with 8. It's gonna be quite expensive. The original plan for that control structure, there
Oh.
was 8 gates.
It was 8 gates.
The
I see.
commissioners back then said, we don't want to spend that money. They made it smaller, and that's why we're having problems.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a very big project if we got
That
to
would
do
be
new.
huge.
And the minutes are right there where the commissioners back then said, No, we're shrinking it down. Well, nowadays you can't do that.
Yeah, not, yeah.
How many years ago was that, Dave?
50.
I thought it was built in the 30s.
No, they fixed it.
Oh.
After that, they
Okay.
wanted it a lot bigger and
Yeah, because
commissioners.
a lot of the
said, "No, we're
original
not
structure
spending
was,
that
yeah,
kind of money."
it's been there for a while.
Kick the can.
As soon as you guys can get back with me on those 4 dates when you like, let's pull the trigger and get that ball rolling.
We,
Go ahead.
we can pick those dates
Yeah.
as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned today.
Yeah, so you guys want to,
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think we need to give him the discretion to pick the dates. We
I
just
want
have to
you
meet.
guys to pick it. I don't care. I'm available.
Because he
all
has
those
to put
dates.
all this together and make a mesh.
How many of these do
that? Just one. You guys are the ones with your schedules.
Well, enough.
February 7th is a Wednesday.
What?
A Wednesday.
Okay, so you guys, is this gonna be an evening meeting? Is that what you're
Yes, this will
thinking?
be an even, I think,
What's the date?
6 to 7, somewhere in there.
So it'll be an evening meeting. Do you
We
know about
can't.
what time?
Between 6 and 7.
Why can't we have it during the day? Because we can't have a meeting in the evening. We have security, building maintenance.
Chair,
Yes.
this is not a meeting for you guys. This is a public meeting.
Yeah.
And if I'm right from what Chase has told me, his intention is that this is a meeting where all of the townships will be invited.
Correct.
You say Roscommon, like you're looking at one place to host
I'm looking
it.
at one place.
Oh, it's not gonna be here.
Yeah,
No,
so-
I'm looking
yeah.
at one place. I'm thinking either Roscommon or Markey because they have the most room. And then this is just where the methodology formula, saying this is the percentage or the factor that you will be charged on your lot is presented. People can say, well, I disagree, or, and kind of give their 2 cents.
Is this gonna be over the allocation?
This will be over the allocation.
Yeah, so that was my next question. I was wondering how that's going. So we haven't settled on an allocation yet.
We've settled on there's a base allocation, but essentially it's being put through the ringer right now to see how it stands up to these kind of special case lots. Kind of work, and then that will get presented to the public.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I think it's kind of my understanding that this is a meeting for the public.
Correct.
We can attend as public. We cannot attend as board members having say on what's going on at that meeting. Just a reminder to the board members.
I can,
looks like-
if we take a 2-minute recess, if you want to have it at Markey, I could go in the hallway and call and see if that date's available.
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
You're talking about the 31st?
The 7th of February.
Wait,
All right, you pick a date.
so a recommendation was given by our controller about possibly doing a Thursday evening. That way, if there's anybody from downstate that isn't a full-time resident, they may be able to
Yeah.
attend the meeting.
If they cannot attend, it's my understanding that as soon as this is made public, they can go to the roscommonlakelevels.net and ask any questions they want there through that email as well.
I would say to do it then on the 1st,
The 1st.
February 1st,
What day is that on?
Thursday.
You want me to make that phone call?
Won't be there.
Yeah.
You have to adjourn for 2.
I'll be in the Caribbean.
Just a second. Chase, do you have anything else that you want to present?
No, I think that's where we're at right now. Yeah, just trying to find another way to maintain legal lake level in the summer without having to have an off on it.
We'll take an adjournment for 2 minutes while Commissioner Russo can see if Markey Township Hall is available for February 1st, 2024. 35. During that recess, Commissioner Russo reached out to Markey Township. They did confirm that February 1st, 2024 at 6 p.m. that they had the large meeting room available at Markey Township Hall. I also handed out the tentative plan update for Houghton Lake, and I did put some up there, for any public that would like them. They're starting the beginning, we are starting the beginning of setting up the advisory boards. We have talked to a few of the supervisors at the townships. We're working on how exactly to develop those and get that started. The delegated authority has, as you all know, been hired. They're working with Eagle on permits and temporary fixes. In the beginning of apportionments are being looked at and how they'll be developed. And there's more to come on that. Any other discussion for Houghton Lake? Lake St. Helen Committee of the Whole. I also handed you out the tentative update for Lake St. Helen. The boundaries were confirmed. The delegated authority has been hired pending contract. And that's really the biggest updates for Lake St. Helen at this point that I am aware of. Any discussion for Lake St. Helen?
This one should move fairly quick too, correct?
That would be better for Rex because I'm not.
Yeah. Madam Chair,
Yes.
a comment on Lake St. Helen one. Because we have other pressing issues and there's Darlene and I are only two people to get a lot of stuff accomplished. St. Helen is not a big rush right now to get this advisory board set up. We are gonna have to address that in the very near future, but you know, it's kind of sitting on the back burner from Houghton Lake at this point.
Right. Well, I guess what I'm saying is St. Helen, that would go quick once we started, correct? Because
I think St. Helen will go a lot quicker than others, yes. What I'm getting from people on that lake are, we're gonna have a lake, right? You know,
yeah, they want it.
the apportionments could drag that project down. When we do apportionments. There's a very, very large tract of land privately owned on that lake. And only 21 members of the organization that own it. If we get into a situation where they think they're unfairly being treated, we might run into this problem. So just caution when we do apportionments.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, Lake St. Helens got to be quite a bit different than Higgins because the dam is very, very large, I believe, Rex. And you have fewer people to spread that allocation over. So their tax portion that they're going to be taxed is going to be substantially higher probably than the people from Houghton Lake. Am I correct on that?
Madam Chair, can I address that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues. Land wise, the Hunt Club owns most of the land. Like I say, they only have 21 members. You can't, I don't see how you can get away with putting 40% of the cost of it on them just because they own that land. A lot of people there, including the supervisors, express their concern that they enjoy that that's undeveloped property. People that come and enjoy that lake, enjoy on the north side of the lake, not seeing all houses. So we need to proceed in caution with dealing with that. But yeah, there's only like 1,300 parcels on that lake. Now the delegated authority and I have talked. One good plus is we may be able to put in a spillway as opposed to a dam, which would keep the total cost extremely low compared to a new dam, which keeps, even though you might have a higher percentage allocation, the dollar amount would be extremely smaller if we can accomplish that. We're looking at ways to keep the cost way down because there's not a lot of people in that district. And if we do a spillway, it could be 1/4 of the cost of a new dam.
Yes.
I don't quite understand what you're saying, just having a spillway.
Spillway would be set at summer level. Any water
the top
above
of the
that would
dam.
go over top of the
In other
spillway.
words, the top of the dam.
Well, it'd be a spillway, not a dam, but
Well,
Yeah.
because
that
I'm
would set
getting,
the level. And the winter drawdown on that lake's not as critical as Houghton Lake because we don't have the ice problems Houghton Lake has in the spring.
yeah, I'm just concerned with the vernacular or questioning the vernacular because we have a spillway on Higgins, it's dumping water, okay? Probably are you talking about just going over the top of the dam? That
Well,
means
basically
what
that's
your
area.
word is for spillway?
Yeah, word spillways, you set it at the level of the summer level and any water above that flows on through.
How will we ever change with the winter level? That would be obsolete.
Winter, my understanding is winter level is permissible, not mandatory. And yes,
Wow.
because we're not addressing ice issues in the spring like
Right.
Houghton Lake.
Yeah, home like we can't even never hit a winter level.
Anyway, we're exploring them options.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, the court order is worded, it can be drawn, basically, it can be drawn down. It doesn't say you have to. No further than is what it basically says.
Any other discussion on Lake St. Helen? Yes.
This pertains to all three lakes. It would probably be wise for us to consider an opportunity at the chair's leisure and for us as a group to go visit the dams. And together, we haven't visited the dams in several years. Just a recommendation. And also too, we talked about the meeting on the 1st. We are always commissioners everywhere we go. We really can't go as a public. I appreciate your comment, but if that's the day that I'm going to be meeting in Lansing. If we do go to that meeting, my recommendation is the commissioners do not chat with each other. Perception of transparency, that we don't huddle together. If you happen to bump into somebody accidentally or grab a cookie or a Coke, then my recommendation to the commissioners is it's not our meeting. It's Chase's meeting. So it's important for Chase to run the meeting and not for us to take over because people may ask us questions. The bottom line is Chase meeting. We need to always remember that Chase is running the meeting, not us. It's just a point to consider. Thank you.
We have no motions or resolutions, so we're at public comment. With no public comment, I move to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.